What up, homies? It's your boy Crazy coming at you with the Dispatch review. I'm gonna start this series after I play each Let's Play to kind of go over more in depth about how I felt about the game. I do think that there are certain people who don't care about the Let's Plays, but they would like to have a review, an honest review of the game. So I should be putting the link in the description of a playlist which has all the my Let's Plays through it. So without further ado, let's get crazy and let's start reviewing. I'll start it off with the gameplay. Gameplay for the most part was pretty good. Not gonna lie. They could have added, or at least I felt they could have added a little more like gameplay elements to it. Maybe like a portion where you can control Robert, or other aspects like more quick time events or something along those lines, because you're spending money on a game. I know it's more of a story-based game and whatnot, but it still would have been a nice touch, because the game's like Until Dawn, like they did like a beautiful blend of it all. That being said, I also think that there could have been a little bit more, like it could have been a little bit more difficult. I never really felt that there was a sense of urgency or a sense of like, oh shit, like moments in terms of like I'm gonna fail this or whatever. I think I failed one time, but that's because I'm more or less on one of the segments. But it never felt like I was really getting challenged, even in the dispatching portion of the game. Those were the only things that I would really kind of touch upon and improving it. The like more quick time events would really have gone a long way. But other than that, I think that the gameplay was, for the lack of a better term, it was still engaging through the most part of it. I still had a fun time, even though it was just point and click. It was still a fun time going through the story and whatnot. And also, you're like listening along with the characters and all that. So overall, I think the gameplay was fun, but there could have been a little bit more to it. So the story was immaculate. I enjoyed the hell out of the story. I do know that there are way more outcomes and different variations that you can go through. Obviously, I'm not looking for it. I don't think there is an idea of replayability, but I don't feel that it's warranted for myself. There's not a lot out that you're gonna get out of it. Because I've even Googled some of the other outcomes, and regardless, you're kind of in the same. It's not like one thing really affects the other. Like, you're still gonna have the same outcomes regardless. Other than that, though, the story was really, really well put together. It did have a good balance of like humor and drama, and I did like also the character development as well. It really felt like you were growing with your team and with the characters within the story. Like, there were times where there are certain decisions that you have to make, and I felt morally bad after the decisions that I had to make, because they give you two crappy options and you have to choose out of one of them, and it morally screwed me up, and I felt bad about having to do something to a certain character. Like, it just hurt on the inside. Like, I felt like I was failing someone. So I think that's a great quality with a game, is when you were able to connect with the characters that you're playing as. So overall, the story, the characters, I give that an A+ on the whole spectrum. The music and the art and all the graphics and whatnot, I do think that the game would run smoothly. I just feel like also I have to figure out on my streams or my recordings as to why there's the lag that's persisting. I'll play other games to really kind of figure that out. This is obviously my first run through on a Let's Play. So there are those aspects that I think that took away from the story, but I think that's on my end. So I think the game probably runs well. I just obviously have to figure out the settings towards it. Like with the sensor bars and whatnot, it would never cover it up and whatnot. So it's actually kind of pretty funny. Overall, I think that it runs well, pretty smoothly. So price point is about $30. So I'm a sucker for a good story-driven game. If you're not a person that's solely focuses on a good story and you're looking for a little bit more gameplay, then I would wait for this game to really go on sale before you would purchase it. Overall, spending $30 on a story-driven game, I would say, bro, roughly like 10 hours worth of content. Um, or it's 8 to 10 hours, depending on how you look at it, really, because you think about 8 episodes, each of them were about a roughly hour long. Um, I think it was about you got your bang for your buck and whatnot. I think that it was well worth the game. I think everything about the game was pretty solid. There was a few minor things, but other than that, I think I had a great experience playing it. So overall, I would probably give it about an 8 out of 10. For the amount it paid versus what we got was pretty on point in terms of if you know you're going into it as a story driven game, then you know what you're purchasing. That was one of the big things that I at least looked into before purchasing it. But at the same token, I love a good story. So overall, if you do like a good story and you do like an idea of character development and relating with the characters and all that, it does a great job at doing that. And it really drives a point home and making you feel as the player as you're actually part of this team. So overall, 8 out of 10. Your boy loved it. It was a great time, regardless, start to finish. Again, if you're a story person, this is the game for you. Alright, homies, that's my short review for the game Dispatch. Again, if you're a person that enjoys a good story-driven game, Dispatch is the game for you. If you like what you're seeing, leave a comment, like, subscribe. It will really help the channel go a long way. If you guys have any recommendations for games that you want me to play, drop it in the comment section. But until next time, homies, stay crazy.